Pabili po.
Ano po yun?
May Milo kayo?
Ano po?
Milo?
Milo? Meron po.
May Downy kayo?
Ano po?
Downy?
Downy? Meron din po.
Toyo?
Ano po?
Toyo?
Toyo? Meron din po.
Wow ulam?
Ano po?
Wow ulam?
Wow ulam? Meron din po.
Nissin ramen meron?
Nissin ramen? Meron din po.
Cracklings?
Ano po?
Cracklings?
Cracklings sa chichirya?
Oo.
Meron din po.
Yakult? Yakult?
Yakult? Meron din po.
Diaper na XL?
Diaper?
Opo.
Na XL? Meron din po.
Coke mismo?
Ano po?
Coke mismo?
Coke mismo? Meron din po.
Crispy fry pala meron?
Ano po?
Crispy fry?
Crispy fry? Meron din po kaming crispy fry.
Dato puti na suka?
Ano dato po? Meron din po.
Pwedeng pabili?
Ano po?
Pwedeng pabili?
Opo. Ano po bibilhin ninyo?
Yung wala sa inyo?
Ano po?
Yung wala sa inyo?
Yung wala sa amin?
Aray!
Nakakaloka ka, nakakaloka ka. Lahat tinanong mo, tapos bibilhin mo yung wala dito. Nakakaloka ka. Lumayas ka, nagigigil ako sa'yo.
Magandang araw! Marahil kilala siya ng marami sa tawag na Pabiligay dahil sa kanyang mga nakatatawang short skits sa kanyang munting sari-sari store. Siya ay kilala rin sa Facebook bilang Bernie Batin Official at sa YouTube naman bilang Bernicular Vlogs. Ngunit, ano nga bang kinalaman ng TikTok video na napanood natin kanina sa lesson na tatalakayin natin sa araw na ito? It can be concluded from the video that the store has a wide range of inventory, from food items, condiments, detergent, noodles, and even diapers. Keeping these items adequate enough to meet the consumer demand is not as easy as it may sound. So today, we will be discussing inventory management. For references, it is module 16 of our subject. Again, we are Group 3 of BSA 2, Main 2, and it is an honor to introduce to you the reporters of the day. Ms. Renzel Dea Cabal, Ms. Mercris Andres, Mr. Zen Mercado, and yours truly, Angeline Lacanilao. To start the discussion proper, let us have the lesson objectives. First, describe the main function of inventories. Second, explain periodic and perpetual review systems. With today's lesson, it is of great importance to know the definition of inventory. Inventory is a stock or store of goods. Ibig sabihin, ito yung mga goods na ibinibenta ng isang business. Firms, specifically big companies, stock hundreds to thousands of items in their inventory depending on the nature and kind of business they are engaged in. For large companies, inventory is often the largest contributor in the current portion of their balance sheet. Finding a good balance between the amount of inventory coming in and going out is essential in determining business success. Therefore, most people agree that inventory management is essential. To illustrate, manufacturing firms that convert raw materials to finished goods have inventories. They carry supplies of raw materials, purchase parts, partially finished items, and finished goods, as well as spare parts for machines, tools, and other supplies. For the purpose of discussion, let us have a shoe manufacturing firm. Ang ilan sa mga raw materials sa paggawa ng sapatos ay leather, textile, rubber, foam, at marami pang iba. Kasama rin sa tinatawag na inventory ay yung mga work in process pa lamang. Halimbawa, yung mga sapatos na kakabitan pa lamang ng swelas o yung mga hindi pa kompleto. Kapag natapos na ang proseso, mapapabilang na ang sapatos sa tinatawag na finished goods inventory. Another example is the department store that carry clothing, furniture, carpeting, stationery, cosmetics, gifts, cards, and toys. I believe lahat tayo nakapasyal na sa SM Department Store at lahat ng mga ibinibenta doon, yun yung example ng inventory ng isang department store. The same goes for hospitals. They stock drugs, surgical supplies, life monitoring equipment, sheets and pillowcases, and many more. Providing proper medical care to people requires the use of these inventories. Our last example is the supermarket. Fresh and canned goods, packaged and frozen goods, household supplies, magazines, baked goods, dairy products, produce, and other items serve as the inventory of a supermarket. Inventory is a vital part of business. Not only are they necessary for operations, but they also contribute to customer satisfaction and loyalty. Maintaining a sufficient amount of inventory ensures that when customers want a product, the company can provide it. Gaya nga ng sabi ko kanina, finding a good balance between the amount of inventory coming in and going out is essential in determining business success. If a company has excessive inventories, it may result to obsolescence and losses. However, if a company has inadequate level of inventory to support the demand, it may result to loss of sales.
Now, let us discuss the different kinds of inventories. Siguro marami sa atin ay familiar na dito dahil sa mga previous topics sa ibang subjects, especially sa accounting. So ngayon, muli nating talakayin ang iba't ibang uri ng inventories. First, raw materials and purchase parts. To define raw materials, it involves items that used to make finished products. It can be commodities or components that business buy or extract themselves. In sum, they're all stock that hasn't been used for manufacturing yet. So basically, ang raw materials ay ang mga items na ginagamit para makapag-manufacture ng products. Halimbawa, ikaw ay may-ari ng furniture company. Bago ka makabuo ng isang kama or bed, may gagamitin kang mga materials or materyales katulad ng mga wood, lumber, metal, and many more. Second is the work in process or WIP. It refers to materials that have been partially completed through the production process but not yet ready for sale. Sa madaling salita, ito yung mga unfinished products. Kaya nga nang sabi ni Angeline kanina sa illustration, halimbawa nito sa mga shoe manufacturing firm ay yung mga sapatos na kakabitan pa lamang ng swelas. Third is pipeline inventory, or also called in-transit stock or transit inventory, is any stock currently moving between manufacturers, distributors, retailers, or other destination. The bigger the operation of a company, the more pipeline stock it has to manage. For the purpose of a discussion, halimbawa natin ay yung clothing companies. May mga companies na nagmumula sa Pilipinas yung product components nila, pero sa US ima-manufacture yung product at saka pa lamang i-distribute sa kanilang mga retailers around the world. Take note that pipeline inventory also incurs significantly more overhead, transportation, and carrying costs. The longer it takes before inventory can be sold, the more that inventory ties up a company's cash flow. Fourth, finished goods are completed products and available for selling to customer. Finished goods are combined with raw materials and work-in-process inventory to make up the total inventory line item on a balance sheet. Items that are used to keep a manufacturing company to operate smoothly are known as maintenance and repairs inventory or MRO inventory. Personal protective equipment, machine part replacement, janitorial supplies, and other materials are all examples of MRO inventory. MRO goods are vital for factories to keep their operations to run smoothly and make up a large percentage of total purchase. Yung maintenance and repairs inventory, hindi man natin sila directly makikita sa mga produkto na ibinenta sa atin, malaking bagay siya sa paggawa nito. Kasama dito yung mga spare parts and tools na ginagamit sa paggawa ng manufacturing equipment. And lastly, tools and supplies. The primary purpose of tools inventory is it features a broad range of tools and methods including guidelines, software, and manuals that helps to identify the bottlenecks and streamline workflows. Tool inventory used to keep track of inventory through barcodes, conflict-free reservation, and routine audits to keep tool in check. Supplies or supply inventory is usually known as MRO inventory. Katulad din ito ng MRO inventory na nagko-compose siya ng mga consumable materials, equipment, at supplies na ginagamit sa production process pero hindi pa kabilang sa finished product. To give an emphasis, it is possible na ang isang kumpanya ay mayroon isa o higit pang types ng inventory sa kanilang business depending on their needs. At dahil nga possible na maraming types of inventories ang isang business, isa rin sa mga dapat i-consider ay ang space requirement nito. To illustrate, kung mapapabayaan ang ganitong usapin, maaari magkaroon ng dead stock or yung mga on-hand products na hindi pa na ibebenta na kumukuha lamang ng malaking space sa stockroom ng isang business. Lastly, in some cases, space limitation may pose restriction in inventory storage capability, thereby adding another dimension to inventory decisions.
Now, let's discuss the functions of inventories. There are 8 functions of inventories. First, to meet anticipated customer demand. Katulad ng napanood nating video example kanina kung saan lahat ng tinatanong na produkto ng customer sa may-ari ay mayroon sa tindahan na iyon. Pinapakita doon na kayang tugunan ng business ang mga pangangailangan ng kanyang mga customers. Second, to smooth production requirements. Ang mga kumpanya ay maaaring makaranas ng mga seasonal patterns sa consumption ng mga produktong ibinebenta nila. Halimbawa, ngayong buwan ng Pebrero, siguradong maraming magbebenta ng flowers, chocolates, red heart balloons, at marami pang iba. Para matugunan ang demand sa panahong ito, ang mga tindahang nagbebenta ng mga ganitong uri ng goods ay mo-order na sa kanilang mga suppliers ilang buwan pa bago sumapit ang peak season. Third is to decouple operations. Dito naman, hinihiwalay ang iba't ibang klase ng inventory upang hindi maapektuhan ang mga inventory sa bawat stage ng manufacturing process. So dito, makikita natin ang kahalagahan ng isang system o process sa isang business upang maiwasan ang slow stock situation o breakdown. The fourth function of inventory is to protect the inventory against stockouts. Tracking your inventory is great to help protect against stockouts. Hindi ideal na magkaroon ng saktong stock ang isang business sa expected demand nito. Para itong commercial ng Revisco, dapat may pasobra. Meaning, dapat laging may safety stock para hindi mauubusan ng stocks ang business if ever tumaas ang demand ng product nito o hindi agad dumating ang inaasahang delivery ng stocks. Other functions of inventories include to take advantage of order cycles. Keep in mind na in every order na ginagawa ng business, mayroon siyang mai-incur na necessary cost like ordering cost. meaning it will be beneficial for the business na umorder ng higit sa kanyang pangangailangan to minimize the said costs. Another function would be to hedge against price increases. Alam naman natin na ang pagtaas at pagbaba ng presyo ay likas sa mga produkto depende sa supply at demand nito. Businesses take advantage of prices sa pamamagitan ng pag-order ng larger quantities before prices of the goods are expected to increase. Halimbawa, prices of chocolates are expected to increase on February in line with the celebration of Valentine's Day. As a response, bibili yung businesses sa suppliers nila ahead of time ng mas maraming inventory para hindi nila abutan yung price increase. One of the obvious functions of inventory is to permit operations. Dahil kapag nga bumili ng inventory ang isang business, ito yung gagamitin nila para i-process sa operations nila to achieve products in the ordinary course of their business. Gaya nga ng sabi ko kanina, kapag nasa operations pa lamang ang inventory, tatawagin itong work in process inventory o work in progress inventory. The last function of inventory is to take advantage of quantity discounts. Suppliers grant quantity discounts kapag mayroon silang bulk sales. This discount is for the sole purpose na i-encourage yung buyer na bumili in large quantities. As a response, yung mga firms na may kailangan ng inventory, bibili sila in large volumes to avail the quantity discount. Isa sa mga pinakaangkop na halimbawa nito ay yung pagbili ng mga online sellers ng bultuhan ng mga damit para sa kanilang mga paninda. Karamihan sa kanila ay bumibili ng bulto-bulto dahil nga mas mura ang mga ito.
Let's continue our discussion with the definition of inventory management. When we say inventory management kasi, system siya, or ito yung sistema kung saan minomonitor natin yung pagpasok and paglabas ng mga stock natin, or yung tinatawag nga nating inventories. Necessary ito for any business involved in buying or selling products to supervise the flow of goods from manufacturing to storing to the point of sale. Sabi nga nila, inventory management can be a very complex process, especially for large organizations. So, malawak yung proseso nito and basically, the process involves ordering. Then, after ma-deliver sa'yo, mare-receive mo na. And then, storing and monitoring hanggang sa bumalik na sa reordering process. Inventory management has two main concerns. Number one is level of customer service, that is to have the right goods in sufficient quantities in the right place at the right time. Meaning, one of the objectives of inventory management is to provide foundation for high levels of customer satisfaction by giving the 4 R's or the 4 rights of customer service. Now, let's move on sa second main concern in inventory management, which is the cost of ordering and carrying inventories. Ordering cost is a cost associated with actually ordering the inventory. Ordering the inventory in sense, for example, there is a boutique that orders all of the fabrics and threads para sa boutique nila on a regular basis. Yung ordering cost doon is yung cost na related sa pag-order nila ng mga fabrics and threads, which is, for example, yung sa shipping fees, labor costs for inspection of goods received, and expenses for purchase order. Carrying cost naman, or yung tinatawag na holding cost, is the cost associated with holding the inventory over a period of time. For example, a company may place an order for a product and then store it in a warehouse once it arrives. Sa case naman po nito, the carrying cost would be the warehouse charges, warehouse keeper salary, rent for warehouse or storage areas. Inventory management overarching goal is to provide satisfactory levels of customer service while keeping inventory costs with reasonable bounds or limits. Inventory management is a crucial component of long-term success. Sabi nga nila, the rest of your supply chain management will fall into place when your inventory is properly organized. That is why we need to have an effective inventory management system, and eto yung mga requirements for that. Number 1. Of course, if you own a business, you have to keep track of its inventory. May tinatawag tayong POS, di ba? Or yung mas kilalang point of sale system na ginagamit by many businesses to keep track of their sales or inventory, especially sa mga may malalaking business. Well, kapag may-ari ka naman ng maliit na business tulad ng sari-sari store, manual inventory is an option kasi they doesn't carry a lot of stock naman. Number 2 is the systematic process of predicting future demand for a specific product is referred to as demand forecasting. Maaaring familiar din tayo dito dahil natalakay natin ito last semester sa financial management. Again, forecasting enables a business to examine sales over the coming weeks, months, and even years in order to determine how much stock to order and to hold at any given time. It is important to accurately forecast demand because it leads to optimal investment decisions, reduced risk, and allows for more efficient financial decisions as well as the maintenance of adequate inventory levels. Third, knowledge of lead time and lead time variability. So what do you mean by lead time? It is a total time required to manufacture an item. Ito yung amount of time na kakailanganin mo to complete the process. So let's say for example, assume that I am a retailer who sells a variety of branded refrigerators. After a certain numbers of sales, I must place an order with the supplier to replenish my inventory or else I will be unable to fulfill customer orders. After I place the orders, the supplier must complete a number of tasks before delivering the consignment, and after that, there's a process na required para ma-deliver sa akin yung in-order ko, which is after ma-receive ni supplier, he or she needs time for processing it, including data entry, approval, and so on and so forth. Then, saka pa lang matatransport to ship yung order ko. So, at the end of the process, saka ko marireceive yung consignment galing kay supplier. Since kailangan kong maghintay for both delivery and pag-process, yung lead time doon is yung sum of ordering time, delivery time, and receiving time. When there's a problem in any supply chain, eto naman yung tinatawag na lead time variability. There are many reasons that your lead time can be skewed, including you ordered too late or too early, transportation delay, and stock out at the supplier level. That's why it is really important na may kaalaman ka about dito para maiwasan ang pagkakaroon ng low chances of shortages or excess of material para sa inventory ninyo. These three categories of inventory-related cost, namely inventory holding cost, ordering cost, and shortage costs, must be accurately estimated. So ano-ano nga ba ang mga nakapaloob sa bawat categories na ito para malaman natin kung ano-ano lamang talaga yung mga cost na dapat isali or need nating bayaran as a buyer. Carrying cost or yung holding cost, kanina nagbigay na tayong example dito tulad nga ng storage space or rent. So ordering cost naman is yung mga related cost doon sa pag-order mo ng materials mo. For example, is yung mga freight or shipping cost, while shortage cost are also called as stock-out cost. Ito naman yung mga bayarin na natamo or matatamo ni owner or company kapag naubusan siya ng stock sa kanyang negosyo. 5. When categorizing or classifying inventory items, this type of requirements is essential. This method assists inventory management in determining the worth of or value of inventory items based on their importance to the business. Dito rin kinaklasify ni company or ni owner yung bawat inventory niya. Alam niya kung ilan yung raw materials na mayroon sila, work in process, at kung ilan na ang mga natapos na goods na handa ng ibenta. A well-managed inventory is essential for a successful business because not all items are of equal importance. A classification system for allocating inventory control resources is required.
To achieve the last lesson objective for today, let us discuss the two inventory counting systems, namely periodic system and perpetual inventory system. These terms may be familiar to all of us, but let this presentation refresh this topic in our minds. Periodic system. Physical count of items in inventory is made periodically to decide how much to order for each item. Firms choose when they will perform their physical inventory count. It can be daily, weekly, or monthly. Moreover, this inventory system is better suited to small businesses since they only have fewer goods to count. On the other hand, let us now discuss the perpetual inventory system, also known as the continuous inventory system. It keeps track of removals from inventory continuously, thus monitoring the current levels of each item. On this inventory, the business owner is updated with his sales. Therefore, he can enumerate the figures of his inventory at any point in time. The perpetual inventory system is commonly used by firms with high sales volume and multiple retail outlets. This includes grocery stores, pharmacies, and convenience stores. Since these businesses have a lot of the goods, it is time-consuming for them to perform a physical count. To monitor their inventory, large companies invest in computerized out-checkout systems. A laser scanning device reads a universal product code or barcode. This process updates the inventory level of every product at each purchase.
So that concludes our presentation. We will end the discussion with the quote from Rhonda Adams saying, "Inventory is money sitting around in another form." Indeed, managing inventory is necessary to achieve business success. Thank you for listening. Stay safe and God bless you.